Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've ever been in the SAP world, you know just how powerful it is. But you probably also wondered, how did we get from those classic text-heavy screens to the slick, modern apps we see today? Well, the answer is SAP Fiori. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what Fiori is, and more importantly, how you can start building with it.
Okay, so this slide right here, it tells the whole story. On the left, you've got the old school SAP GUI. Kind of clunky, tons of text, and you're pretty much chained to your desk to use it. Now look to the right. That's Fiori. It's clean, simple, feels just like an app on your phone, and you can use it on literally any device. This isn't just a new coat of paint, folks. It's a whole new way of thinking about how people should work with SAP.
So why was this change so desperately needed? Well, those old systems were absolute workhorses, no doubt about it. But they just weren't intuitive. They weren't designed for the way we work now, on the go. That created a huge gap between what the system could do and what users could easily get done.
And that's exactly where Fiori steps onto the stage. It was SAP's answer to this whole user experience problem.
So what is Fiori, really? The easiest way to think about it is as the new face of SAP. It's not just one thing. It's a whole design system that's built to deliver a simple, responsive, and personal experience. It doesn't matter if you're on a giant monitor, a tablet, or your phone. Fiori makes sure everything looks and feels right.
And listen, this is where you really want to pay attention, especially for your career. Fiori isn't some optional add-on anymore. It is the standard for SAP's main product, S/4HANA. As more and more companies make the switch, the demand for developers who know Fiori is just exploding. It's a huge deal in the job market right now.
All right, so we've got the what and the why down. Now for the fun part, the how. Let's actually peek under the hood and look at the blueprint for building a Fiori app, all the way from the backend data to what the user sees on their screen.
So what's the secret sauce? What are the key ingredients you really need to know to cook up a modern Fiori app? Here's the basic journey. It all starts in the backend, where you structure your data using something called CDS views. Once your data's organized, you have to expose it, right? You do that with an OData service, which basically turns your data into a language the web understands. Then you jump into your main tool, the Business Application Studio, and use a Fiori template to generate the basic user interface. And finally, you tweak and polish it using UI annotations before you test it all out.
Let's break those key pieces down a little more. Think of CDS views as the foundation of your house. They give the data its structure. OData is like the waiter at a restaurant. Its job is to take that well-structured data from the kitchen, the backend, and serve it to the customer, the app. And then you have SAPUI5 and its templates. That's the architect and the interior designer, building the actual interface that the user sees and interacts with. Each part is absolutely vital.
And where does all this building and designing happen? Well, your main workshop is the SAP Business Application Studio. It's a cloud-based tool that runs on the SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP as you'll hear it called. This is your modern one-stop shop for bringing all these technologies together.
Now, this is where things get really efficient. Instead of having to hand code every single button, table, and screen from scratch, Fiori gives you these incredibly powerful templates. You can generate really common and complex app patterns, like a list report or an object page, with just a few clicks. Honestly, this is a total game changer. It saves an unbelievable amount of time. Okay, so what happens when you need to change something like a column header or the order of fields? In the old days, you'd have to dive into a bunch of complex code. Not anymore. Now you use annotations. Just think of them as little digital sticky notes that you attach to your data. They give the template simple instructions like, hey, call this column customer name, or put this field first. It's a much smarter way to customize your app without all the heavy lifting. Okay. We've gone through the what, the why, and the how. Let's zoom back out and bring it all together. Let's talk about why this is such a critical, non-negotiable skill for anyone who wants a future in the SAP world.
I mean, really, this quote just says it all. As the entire SAP ecosystem shifts to S/4HANA and the cloud, the ability to build clean, modern, user-friendly experiences is everything. If you master Fiori, you are placing yourself right at the heart of that transformation. It really is one of the most valuable things you can have on your resume today.
At the end of the day, Fiori is so much more than just a pretty interface. It's a whole new way of working that makes unbelievably powerful technology simple enough for anyone to use. So now that you have the blueprint, there's really only one question left to ask. What are you going to build with the future of SAP?